Welcome to this video where I'm going to show you how I built this board and batten wall. This is a super easy build, but it's even simpler because I'm not using any of the board or the pieces that go in the middle. This is just the sheetrock painted and then the MDF boards on top and across to create an accent wall slash headboard for the master bed. Now I do add a special shelf on top of it, a walnut stained shelf that is pretty cool. So I'll show you how I do that. And if you stick around, I'll show you a special tip on how to make your bedroom feel better and give you better sleep at night, just with a little, secret sauce. The materials I use for this build are this primed pine board, 1x3, a 1x4, and 1x2. So 3 different kinds of board, then the 1x3 wood board that I stained with walnut. You can use a brad nailer to put the boards on, or you can just use caulk. I am using a Jasper green paint. If you need any materials, the links will be in the description. Now let's move on to the plans of this build. The plans to this project are, well, it's a math problem. So let's take, for example, you have a 12-foot wall, which is 144 inches, and then you have 2 posts that are on the ends. You want to fill the rest with the boards, and you're not sure how much spacing you're gonna get. So you do 6 boards times 4 inches, which is 24 inches, and then you do 144 inches minus those 24 inches, and you get 120 inches. And then you divide by the spacing between the boards, which is 24 inches. So those spacings will be 24 inches for each of those boards. Now, if your wall comes out uneven, you'll just have 1 or 2 boards that are a little bit spaced differently. And honestly, that's not a huge deal. Another thing you're going to want to plan is how high you put your board and batten. We did it high enough so our head wasn't hitting the wall when we were sitting on the bed. And then the last thing you're going to want to figure out is how you're going to integrate the boards into your baseboards. I use this angle method. I think it looks really great and it looks seamless. So you should try that. So let's jump into the actual build. I'm starting off with the end pieces here. I'm just putting 2 brad nails in the top and the bottom. Now the other end piece is next to a window. So you're gonna wanna cut a notch where the sill overlays the board. I just did that with the jigsaw, and then I did the same thing that the other one, just put 2 brad nails in at the top and the bottom. Now in order to get these vertical, I just used the corner line and the window line to get the end pieces, but you're going to need to use a level for the rest of them. My wall was pretty long, I think 10 feet, and I bought 8-foot board, so I needed 2 to span the whole distance. So I ended up putting another vertical so that I could put the top board on there first and then cut a smaller horizontal to finish off the top. And then it was basically just filling in the rest of the vertical pieces. Now as you see me do here, I put the vertical piece in where I had previously marked the spot, and then I used the level to make sure it's level. And then I just used the brad nailer as usual, put 2 in the top, 2 in the bottom. This next part, I'm putting the 1x2 board on top of the flat piece, and I'm just doing the same thing, using the brad nail and doing it from the top into the bottom. Now, I do the right side of my window the exact same way. Put a board in the corner and a board next to the window, put the long board on top, cut it to size, and then fill in the gaps with 3 different boards. Now this spacing is a tad bit wider than the spacing on the left, but you obviously can't tell. And another thing I did was mark where the studs are in the wall, and then I used the brad nailer to put brads into the thick piece on the top, just for extra stability. The next thing I'm doing here is using some wood filler for my excessive amount of brad nails that I used in some of the boards, which is unnecessary. And then I'm going to use caulk to fill in the gaps of the boards. Now this step is not necessary. I recently did another board and batten wall without caulk, and it honestly looks pretty much the same. You can't tell too much of a difference. One brief interruption here. If you love DIY videos, home renovation, finances for homes, or if you like this video, hit that subscribe button for more content like this. And alright, let's get back to the video. After the caulk dries and you sand some of that wood filler, then you can start painting. Like I said previously, this is Jasper Green from Sherwin-Williams, and I'm just using the roller to get all of the coverage. This worked perfectly fine. And then after I rolled everything, the next step is getting a brush and getting all the corners between the board and the sheetrock. Now I did decide to paint my baseboards, and you don't have to do that. If you don't want to paint the baseboards, tape them off and then paint. Here's that little extra secret sauce that I mentioned at the beginning of this video, and it is lighting. Now, I bought this lighting from some website. I put it in the description. You can get it as well. This lighting was super easy to put up. Just screw it into the wall and then plug it into an outlet. And there you got two nice gold fixtures. I wanted to bring this up because lighting is super important for your daily mental health, as well as keeping you asleep at night. Listen to what my wife has to say.
I have a good friend who's been over here and has witnessed the power of lighting, and she has changed her whole lighting situation for her apartment and tells me that her life has changed.
Thanks, Boo. You can go watch the rest of this video, but here's a demo. Bright lights versus going to sleep lights. Let me know in the comments if you love lighting like this. Now on to the last part, which is the shelf. This is just another piece of board that is 1x3. I stain it with walnut and then put in the brad nails just like I do the rest of the build. It really is just as simple as that and adds just a great piece to your board and batten wall. This was the first time that I did board and batten, and it turned out really great. I think the end product is amazing. My wife and I both love it. We love the shelf. We love the look of it. It just gives this room an extra layer of comfort and style. If you have any questions or concerns, let me know in the comments and I'll be sure to get back to you. If you want to check out the rest of this master bedroom makeover that I did in one weekend, that's including floors, a faux fireplace, painting, and bedding, go check out this video. And if you want to check out my review on this nice bedding, go check that out. I think they're really worth it, but I'll tell you more in this video. Anyways, thank y'all for watching. Make sure you hit the subscribe and like if you like the video, and I will see y'all over there in the other videos. See ya. Even when my feet get tired, I will keep on